I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not know. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us.
And I guarantee you, when we finish, there will not be a winner or the loser. Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia, and the victory belongs to the people, to the peace and to our democracy. As we begin to build upon the foundation of this new Liberia, I, George the new president, will first give thanks and praises to the Almighty God for the blessing He has bestowed upon our country. And I say, my people, thank you,
The supporters of His Excellency Joseph Bana presents him as a poor man from Lofa, and I said that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. Vice President Bana is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money. His office received more money from the government budget than any other vice president has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs. Minister of Agriculture, Ambassador, Managing Director of LPMC, at the time when LPMC had money, and several other positions. Vice President Bana might have been poor a long time ago, but today he is among the richest 1% of Liberians who are enjoying the best of this country.
That led to decades of war still run deep. But so too does the longing for reconciliation. A reconciliation defined not by political bargaining or by an artificial balance of power by tribe, region, religion, or ethnicity, but by the equality of opportunity and a better future for all Liberians.
I'm extremely happy to be in the United States of America, long considered the lands of free and the home of the brave. My visit here today is a response to the kind invitation extended me by President Ronald Reagan, a man of abiding courage, strong will, and foresight. As you know, Liberia and the United States have a long and historic friendship which spans more than 150 years.
Man, got respect.
What I call sort of vicious lie about the fact that Mr. Kobe is gay or bring gay lifestyle to Liberia is complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right? So it's complete nonsense. I've mentioned earlier, I don't know, I'm sure you were here, right? You playing the game, right? I'm married to Teresa, 2 children, 5 grandchildren. I believe in traditional family values, so it's complete bullshit, complete nonsense.
I resigned May 11th. On the start of the new session, after the president of Liberia, after our Supreme Court victory for us, and the president made his now famous speech that they will continue to work with the so-called majority, even before defining what that majority was going to be, because we're going into a new session. We decided that to avoid the continuous confrontations and acrimony at the legislature, we decided to step aside. So we resigned. They never got the votes to try us or remove us, and we maintained they would not have gotten the votes. There is a reason why the Constitution requires a supermajority, and if we wanted to go by the rule of law, and we should go by the rule of law, 49 votes were required. That was never attained, so we resigned.
I'm too hard on the CDC. You know, it's for reasons sometimes, Akaro. The big ball that CDC dropped, it was right, one of it was right here in Nimba. My brother, let me tell you something. There's nowhere in the world where hundreds of candidates participate in the election. And in the second round, only 2%. And the number of vote cast in the second round is more than the first round. It's not possible. That's what happened in Nimba.
He is adjusting. Watch this moment without any commentary. It's going down. First blow. There you have it.
Because the party felt betrayed. The Salif-led administration was splashing jobs and cash and political cohesion, arresting our people arbitrarily, putting them behind bars. The CDC got challenged. We braved the storm. We challenged the status quo. We never surrender. The first 6 years we never surrender. 12 years we never surrender. And this party we never, with emphasis, ever surrender to the evil forces. By 2011, 3 of our soldiers were executed on this party ground. 2 at the back and 1 right at the headquarters. The man who shot and killed our people today is a darling boy in the Liberian National Police. They brought him back to shoot more guns. Get ready to shoot. Because we challenge the status quo appropriately. Kuma was murdered on this battleground. The boy was killed.
Yes, the boy was killed. He was murdered. Krumah, November 7, 2011. Let me say good evening to you first. Good morning to those who in the time zone of a morning hour. Good evening to those in the time zone around the world. Good afternoon to you that in the time zone is afternoon, and good evening to those who is in the time zone that is the evening hour. I thank you very much for tuning in. Today, sharp 8 o'clock. It's not yet 8 o'clock in Liberia. Sharp 8 o'clock. We have our guest, Sam Jackson, a veteran Liberian economist and political analyst, will be our special guest. And also we have our man, Gibson Jerue. Gibson Jerue, former editor-in-chief of the Public Agenda newspaper, a veteran Liberian journalist and a critical analyst, will also be our special guest. We'll be joined in by our usual panelists, and Bana FM, 98.5 will be carrying this live across Montserrat County and other surrounding country. Radio Tapeta will also be going live. Kings FM is expected to go live with this program today, and Radio Lela in Banga, Bon County will also be going live. So we have like 8 more minutes before 8 o'clock. We ask that you share this live. You keep sharing this live. Today, the program is expected to be very bombastic, educative, and informative. So we will, as usual, recognize our guests. I mean our viewers. Again, we have Mr. Lawrence M. Dubayu in the back. Lawrence, today we have Sam Jackson, and we have Gibson Jerue. We'll be asking them the hard and tough questions. Okay, we'll not be panelists today. Okay, we will ask the questions. So today they are our guests, so we'll ask more questions to them, Lawrence. I mean, Ronald M. Dubayu, if you're following us. Juji, one way, you are welcome. Juji, you say happy pre-birthday to you. Happy pre-birthday, Juji. When is your birthday? Just let us know. We have Winston, veteran Liberian journalist, and one of the best now, stayed in the media landscape. Veteran from the Capital Building, calling the Capital Building, remains in the back. Winston Bladen will be coming on. He's already set. I can see that he's already. William Massaquoi. Good afternoon, General. I'm following from Pennsylvania, USA. Princess Sunshine Kamara. CDC Forever. Yes, watching from my home. NC of the party. Fayewa Morris, head of our strong general. Matthew Renato Ba. Mamadou Sandamani. Mr. Sandamani, how are you? All the way from Capital Bypass, Monrovia, Liberia. Slaka, Jujid, Patience Peters, following from Congo Town, Peter Lanes Peter. How are you, Peter Lane Peters? Otello and Paulo, watching from Fargo, North Dakota. Abraham Weir, good evening. Abdullah Dolit, good evening. I'm watching from Zozo City, Lofa County. Weir is coming back all the way from Zozo, Lofa County. Jeremiah Coley, Mississippi Street, Greenville. As usual, Elijah and Sid. Elijah Sid is watching live from Ganta City, Nimma County. We hope we can get Garrison Jerue. I've been trying to reach him. You know, he's not in the country, but he will be back. But he said he will be on today. Rose Quieted, watching from Louisville, Kentucky. Jim Main, watching from Marshall, Magibi. Eugene Jabot. Eugene, how are you? Yes, from Capital Bypass. Daniel G. Solo. From Zeju, Mr. Solo, how are you? Ambassador Brooks Morris. Yes. Oh, you journalist too. Brooks, we can be anybody at any point in time. That's the versatility of our existence. Man Roson, the powerful general, Abel Wajah, Solomon Swasese, James Wilson from Coward, Jerue P. Dennis III, Citizen Remain Supreme, Emmanuel N. Sewon. Emmanuel, how are you? Following you from Greenville. That is Sano County. Playe, I'm following from Marshall, RIA Highway. Vivian Kafia from RIA also. Ambassador Brooks Morris. Juje again, Aaron Zen, the general I'm following from ELWA community. Brian Brown, all the way from Ankeny, Iowa, USA. Puka Rabos. Oh, Puka, how are you? Great man. Are you coming on, man? I had a community, Zara. How are you? Eric McGill from the United States of America, Wilfred Tupa, also watching for Kentucky, USA. Jerry Tittle. Oh, Jerry, man. Jerry, you don't insult him, man. I beg you. Y'all want to disagree. Y'all can disagree, Jerry. I beg you. Yeah, we got a few more minutes to 8 o'clock. Ebeja, please tonight, no insult. Listen to our people tonight. For Grand Bassa County with the main of fan, North Carolina, USA. Unknown destination Puka Ravos. They were like Dwayne Myers Nima. From Kampala, Uganda. Uganda is being represented in this hall. Abubakar Kafia Sayon, Foya City in Lofa County. Lofa is being represented. Alex Traore, Preston Bill Getty, Dwayne Myers Nima from Kampala, Uganda. Emmett L. Carter from District 8, Monserrato County. And Arahaji K. Dukley from Bapolu all the way. Bapolu County has been represented. Dwayne Myers again from Uganda. That's the same Dwayne. C. Mike Coliseum from the United States of America. Cecilia Logan from Germany. Yeah, Germany is represented here. Theophilus Tupa from Princeton, Texas. Emmanuel Peters. How are you, brother? Jerry Taylor. Preston Bill Getty. Jusu Ish Aman, Dash, how are you, Dash? All the way watching tonight. Please share the live. We'll ask that you keep sharing the live because tonight our guest will soon be on. Melvin Todd Johnson, Minnesota, USA. Sekou Fofana, watching from Madrid, Spain. My man Madrid is represented here with Spain. I want to see what the man said from Madrid, so I want to see what ambassador to here tonight. Premier Hurst. How are you? No insult. I beg you. When they put insult us, you're leading. I beg you. You're leaving. That's an insult. Okay. Morris Bobodi. Washington from Donostan, Mangibi County. Matthew Gongpa. Washington from Grand Bassa County. Bassa is represented. Australia is here. Patrick Kennedy. Following from Australia. Classical Paulino Sakavani, watching from Grand Kidman County. I know Kidman will be in the hall, man. Wow, Grand Kidman County, my own county. Ambassador K. Pris Kedor, how are you? Jusu Ish Ama, watching from Congotan. Okay, Deborah James. Anthony Flombo from Nimma County, District Number 1. Hadrins Singbe, watching from London. England is represented here, or the United Kingdom is represented here. Dashwell from Minnesota again. Kafuma Met, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yeah, well, the show will definitely be an interesting one because we have, okay. So we're live now. We are live on Bana FM 98.5, those in Radio Land. We want to say thank you very much for tuning in. We have our special guest tonight, veteran Liberian economist and political analyst Sam Jackson will be on. Also, we have a veteran Liberian journalist and editor, analyst also, Gibson Jerue will also be on, and I will be joined in tonight by Winston Bladden from Bana FM and also he once covered the Capitol building. Vinicius Bar, you are welcome. Anthony Passima, from Bomi County. Bomi is represented here. Daniel Darrow, Bendu Shebru from Broadville. Ambassador K. Priskidor, watching from Mangibi County. Vangelos Hustler Tree, Wallow. Oh, from Baltimore, USA. Mustafa Haji Kenneth from Dixville. Basso Town Community, Bobby Cole, Matthew Tamba, Mustafa Haji Kenneth, the same man, Mohammed Umar Sharif. How are you, Mohammed? Usman Ansu, watching from Oro Vatan. Daniel Manvatoro Sondaro, watching from Grand Judah County. Grand Judah is represented here. All right, good evening, Honorable Gray. I'm following from Lower Magidi County, Shuffling Township, Aaron. He's on YouTube. Emmanuel 48, we also on YouTube. I can see like Gibson Jerue is trying to come on. He's in the back. Gibson, you can, we're not seeing you, but you can go out and come back in so that we can be able to get you. Good afternoon from Gibson Jerue. He's in the back. We'll bring him on. A veteran Liberian journalist, analyst. You know, I would joke Gibson tonight because he owed me something. Winston Logan, Raymond K. Rabos, Matthew Quartet, Emmanuel Sayon, Mike P. Vonken, Cecilia Logan, Peter Siaka, Haden Sibu, D. Hannes Tappet, Darlington Dolope, Darlington from Iowa. Grand Judah is also represented here. Guessing your county here, Grand Judah County. You know, we all over the country, the people try to listen to. We in 9 counties now as I speak to you. Okay, yeah. So we got the local radio stations that take on. Rwanda Kigali is represented here. Emmanuel T. Dixon, Matthew Bondo from Johnsonville. Matade is also represented from Masese. Daros Kedon from South Africa. So guessing you see, we got a lot of countries. The people follow a lot. Mia KM Jerry, okay, from DC. Matthew Quartet from Sando County. Eric McGill. We got Hugard. That is on YouTube. We will not get the full name. The following on YouTube. Mustafa Carlos Fofana. Christopher Bernard, following from Dawson, Lower Magidi County. Linton Cedar, following off from Canada. Nova Scotia, Canada. Rachel Zore, following from Riverside County. Lasana Thomas Sankara, Connie, following off from Guinea. This is Guinea. We got Brian Brown, CCUSA Youth Chairman, Iowa Chapter. Samson Wacheberg, Nouvelle, following from SKD Bolivar. Alvin L. Spackett Brown, following from York, Pennsylvania. Lasana, okay, Thomas Nyanti, from Broad Street. Carlos Fofana, Rose Kuyate, Jerry Taylor, Roosevelt, the Battle Swain, following closely. Heron Dubat Hill, following from Carolina, USA. So we can't recognize everyone, but the list is so long. As the program goes on, we'll try to do our best. But again, we'll get somebody from Charlotte, Washington, Marcos Doe, Momo Kiazoro, Aaron, we are all Washington, Hamilton from ERW. So at this critical juncture, Gibson will bring you on. Gibson, we want to say welcome to Liberian Action TV. You are live on different video platforms. Also, you are live across 9 counties, okay? And you're live on Bana FM 98.5. We expect Kings FM to also cover us. And then Radio Tapeta in Nimba County, where is also relaying us, and Radio Lille, another local community radio station in Bond County, will also be relaying us tonight. So it's a pleasure, Gibson, to have you here tonight, and a privilege to have you here. I call you a big brother or senior brother. And then what we do here, usually we recognize our guests. I mean, our viewers, we recognize them, you know, dodo, and then we'll start the program. So I'm at today, so congratulations. So tonight, Gibson, you people will do the talking. You and Sam Jackson. We have the one of our panelists or a journalist also from Bana FM, who is in the back, will be joining us very soon. So you are welcome, Gibson.
Yeah, thank you very much. My first time here. I'm liking it already, so it's a good thing to be here. And I'm looking forward to a very fruitful discussion. And thank you for all the job you're doing, man. I mean, Liberia, we can only talk and talk and talk and talk. That's what we know how to do. We don't know how to fight and fight and fight, you know. So these platforms, these discussions help to shape the destiny of our country. And people like you who have been in the vanguard of advocacy, activism, and all of that. I mean, it's no mistake when you come on these kind of platform and you create something like this to engage with Liberians. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much, Gibson. You know, we want to, because we have people from far and near. We have Mani Nima watching all the way from Cambodia in Asia. Yeah, we have to recognize these kind of people because they take upon themselves the big time difference. You know, Frederick Nimlin, welcome. Mike Bell, Mamma Post, welcome. Momo Piazzolo, Precious Calon, she find from Fiaman community. Hadrian Sigbe, Musa Sharif, watching from New Jersey. So Gibson, man, Gibson quite a long time, man. You know. Yeah. Let me tell the Liberian people that Gibson is a senior brother, a big brother. Those of you on our voice in radio land today, Gibson Jerue, I've known for a very, very long time.
Very long time. Even
before I became Assistant Secretary, then Deputy Secretary, then National Secretary General of CDC, I've known Gibson. And one of the things that I remember of Gibson very well is when we used to wake up early morning. I think that was 7:30 to 8 o'clock to go on a Truth FM program.
You remember.
I remember at the end of the day, the Truth FM and the Gibson and Public Agenda, they go into a serious exchange of intellectual extravaganza.
Oh, yeah.
That was I remember
we clash.
Yeah.
Very big clash. Yeah, I can remember that. Yeah.
That was a serious clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
I remember when you said the serpent journalist. I will never forget what that newspaper headline gives me from Public Agenda. Yeah.
Ambrose even tried to sue the whole Public Agenda. That the president intervened, and later on he withdrew his lawsuit. But I mean,
and today he works at the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I tell people, maybe because we are not cussing, so they don't know the kind of thing we have written in this country. In our own country, we have done a lot of stuff. We, charged till a time. We did all kinds of, stuff to make sure that the people's voices are heard. And Gray, you've been through really tough time, and you withstood the time, man. I mean, people should appreciate people who stand for the country. I think by doing this, that's all we want. Nobody gave us money per se, but the fact that you recognize how you fight for the people. Some people, once you disagree with them, they cuss you up. They don't understand that you come from a different school of thought, and it's always going to be. It's always going to be like that way.
Yeah, Gibson. Really appreciate they want to recognize somebody watching from Guinea-Bissau, Como. We have we got people all around the world, different areas, and we on the local radio stations. Like I said, we in 9 counties now, being called by 9 counties as I speak to you. Okay, we expect to extend beyond those counties. It's not easy, but we have in the back, we have the veteran Liberian economist, a strategist, and a political analyst, Sam Jackson, the old man himself.
He can't give up.
Manja equal.
He can't give up. He can't give up.
Gibson.
Yeah.
Gibson.
Yes.
I want it. No, I'm speaking crown to you.
Oh yeah, I mean I want it.
So how you doing, gentlemen?
Mr. Jackson, you just coming on. We live on Bana FM. You know, Bana FM alone covers 5 to 6 counties across the country. So we collaborate with Bana FM 98.5. So you are on radio live, and you also on a radio station in Nimba County, Radio Tapeta, and on another one in Bon County. Okay. So we arranging to cover the southeastern region very soon, maybe in the next 2 weeks. We have some radio stations relaying or in the southeastern region. It's not permanent to do that, but not every time. So Sam Jackson, you are wholeheartedly welcome. Today, our focus will basically be on the Putu agreement. We'll bring in other conversation. We got journalist Winston Bladen. We'll be here today. We'll ask you the tough questions as usual. But I want to say something about Mr. Jackson. You know, I have the utmost respect for Mr. Sam Jackson, not only because he's a senior citizen, but because we drank from the fountain of the knowledge of Mr. Jackson when I was growing up as a young man, you know, very energetic, as Assistant Secretary General of CDC, very bombastic and robust, hot. And Mr. Jackson treated me like a peer. You know, there were times that it was rough. He came in. Okay, with all my public disagreement with him during those days, he doesn't love for people to say it. Okay, but Mr. Jackson was the only one in the Unity Party, but then one of the only persons that could reach out across the aisle and talk to me and walk in my bedroom on Capitol Bypass and talk to me. So I've known Mr. Jackson for a very long time. You know, in this country, we don't give credit to people who deserve credit. The nation should be learning from people like Mr. Jackson on the basis of his experience. He has vast knowledge of experience. That's why when I see some people, you know, insulting him and criticizing him, wanting to question his academic credentials, I think whether they are mad because they don't know this country as compared to Mr. Jackson. So Mr. Jackson, you know, I gave you your flower while you are still alive. I salute you, I respect you, and I want you to keep out the fight, keep up the focus. I will keep drinking from the fountain of your knowledge. That's why we'll brought you on this program. So Gibson.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Now listen to Mr. Jackson. So we'll come back to you, Gibson. Yes. So we'll get you 2 minutes, Gibson, to let the people know who Gibson Jerue is. Just 2 minutes.
Oh, I mean, for those who don't already know me, I'm married.
General, just a minute, Mr. Jerue. I hope we have shared the show on our various pages in the various chat room. It's important. Let's share.
My man, you live.
Let's share the show.
You'll be on time. I'm a married man, and I've been married since 2011. I met my wife 2008. I have 3 kids. In terms of education, we did different kind of education. My first serious one came from the Lincoln Commercial when we did accounting. We call that bookkeeping, and then on, and I hold a bachelor in paralegal law, and I'm pursuing my international relation and international politics at the Liberty University. Hopefully, I will finish before I come to Liberia, or I will come to Liberia and come back and finish it. It's kind of very, very important to me. In fact, I intend to do and finish my law and be licensed. But I've been a journalist since 1989. I started writing for the Sports Chronicle since 1989. I've gone through different kinds of training, different kinds of position, from reporter in training to cop reporter to reporter to junior reporter, to senior reporter, to chief reporter, to news editor, to editor-in-chief, to managing editor, to correspondent for different international magazine, Peace Magazine, Italy, the Justice Tribune in Paris, and a different institution. Work for Star Radio, work for Inquirer, work for the Daily Observer, work for the newspaper, work for DC TV, DC Radio. I work for different kind of institutions, so I gain different experience at different levels, and that helped me because working under different people occurs. People, some people treat you nicely, some people treat you horribly. I remember when I used to be an Inquirer newspaper for one whole year. I worked without pay, and one day Gabriel Williams called me and said, "My man, I don't see you changing your clothes that much." I said, "Yeah, Ochi, I just here, I just hustling." He said, "Do you get paid?" I said, "No." He said, "For the last 1 year, you never get paid." I said, "Yeah." And he walked into a Seaton's office and said, "Why we told you to pay this man, you are not getting paid." And that's how I started getting my first pay of 150 Liberian dollars. And then when I joined the analyst, and I was a big journalist already, when I joined the analyst, I mean, what we used to do there. We did so many. But look, I'm glad. I have been great. I've been writing. I've been in the advocacy. It's just that some of us, we're not like other people who would say bad thing for people to just come and see you. But we have been writing, we've been running around. I ran out of Liberia 3 times on a child stealer. Almost got killed when I went to Ivory Coast. The Taylor people sent people there. They arrested me on the refugee camp. They put me in jail in Ivory Coast. I spent, I think, 2 days in jail until the Ivorian journalist intervened. I got released and fled to Ghana. So many things that like people don't know about me, but what we hear, and we're still holding on. So people think that when we are critiquing government, we are doing it for belly. No, that's not for belly, because some of us we try to do the best we can. And I think I came to America. I think I did well for myself. Right now in Liberia, I got some businesses running as well. I got one entertainment center, I got one grocery store, and I got one 24-hour radio station. So those are things I do great. And I'm just glad to do this thing. I just like this job because talking for people and standing up for people is something.
Thank you very much, Gibson. Your time will give you But Jackson, the other people got to know who Sam Jackson because
They got long something. I don't know what we finish to this.
No, like there's 2 minutes we'll get it, Papi. Mr. Jackson?
I think there's an issue with his internet. I think it's frozen.
Yeah. So Gibson will start the program. So Gibson, lot of talking points. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the main focus issue will be on Putu Mountain tonight. But before we go further, we got the journalist who will take full charge, and I will just come in to buttress him. But Gibson, we want to know, there's a talking point about this mass demolition across the country, breaking down the homes, why some are privately done through the court, some has to do with either way. If you were advising the government of the Republic of Liberia that has a responsibility, just quickly, I want you to take 2 shots on the piece of conversation on that, and secondly, the Yellow Mission saga.
First of all, the demolition, I think the government is running ahead of itself. I remember when I was in Abidjan, Henry Konan-Bédié, the then president of Cote d'Ivoire, went to Andokwa Day. There was a place that people settled with different kinds of makeshift zinc shack, steak houses. And when he told the people to demolish those places, what he did was he took everybody's name. They took everybody's name down. If you have 2 rooms, 3 rooms, they took it. And then when they removed the people and demolished the place, they built new structures and put the people there and make it cheaper, and the people started paying. I think that's one way you can do your demolishing. Some of the demolishing they are doing, I don't know why they are doing that, because you're not even ready to do anything on the land. You're not ready for development. You're just doing it because in the name of trying to remove people. Look at the one that happened to 72nd. They're not ready to develop that place. They're not ready to do anything. People lived there for years after the war. People try to put their life back together. And you just came and ripped everybody out of there. You don't care what happened to them, where they go, how they survive, what happened in their life, what their family look like. You don't care. All you know, you say, well, development, you got to feed people for development. But what are you doing? If you're not doing anything and you are just taking people from these places and demolishing people's houses, demolishing people's places, then I want to ask, what is your empathy? What is your empathy for these people? Because first of all, you got to create a framework by which you will help the people. If you demolish these places, start something there. Let the people see that you are doing something. You are building something. They say, oh, but then they put on just more from there. Look at kind of nice thing they're building there. They are building some estate houses. They are building some roads. But you're not doing anything, and you just rig the people out of there. I think it's inhumane. I think it's disingenuous, and I think it's wicked. And the government need to think again. But you know what? For me, I tell people I'm a prospective citizen. We like that though. They are campaigning for us. They are campaigning for us. Let them go ahead and keep putting the people in the street. Let them go ahead and put the rain season is coming. Let them go ahead and put the people in the rain. Let them go ahead and break the people's houses down without telling them. Let them go ahead and raid the people's businesses and destroy them. We like that because that is the kind of government that came to rescue, but they are not rescuing. I think they are destroying the lives of the people, and this is pathetic. I think they shouldn't be happening in a country like Liberia where people are making very, very little ends meet.
What's about the yellow machine saga? Your perspective on the yellow machine?
I don't know how the yellow machine even became a major issue. First of all, they lied to us about the yellow machine, that they were going to bring the yellow machine. They came and paraded a few machines in the street. And then there was from Jeremiah Kuhn's friend. And then later on, the yellow machine was going to be 22 million and was going to be given to a Liberian because Joseph Boakai President Boakai promised that Liberians will take charge of their business, of the economy. And then they listed 5 companies, including Liberian companies, and wanted to know that they will not even give the Liberian company anything. No collaboration, no trial, nothing. And it brought a bunch of, you and I know those machines were not brand new. You and I know some of these machines were produced long time. You look at the structure of the machine. We are happy that the machine are brought in, but they kind of hide that they are created, that the machine is brand new and all of that. It's not just true. It's not just true. So I think while it's true that we recognize the coming of the machine, we still hope to see how the maintenance of the machine is going to be. How are they going to distribute the machine? Already we are hearing about more than $4 million budget for the maintenance of for the running of the machine. They get some kind of yellow machine authority. Then they get presidential special project committee, and one man is heading 2 of them, and they have $4 million already. It's not even mentioned in the budget. I know that all budget spending or whatever it is. This is
Gibson. Yeah, Gibson, we kind of Uncle Sam does not have a lot of time yet. Maybe he has the next 30, 45 minutes with us.
No. I'm gonna stay like a whole hour. I'm sorry. Look, I'm running a business. I got a call for one of my cars to go out, so I had to go get the value the key. So I'm very sorry.
Okay, so Uncle Sam, since you're still longer with us, the both of you can answer the same concern we have. Your kind of opinion on the demolition, the breaking down of alleyways, and the government doesn't have money in the budget to start pavement, and at the same time, people go to court. They say the win cases, they take private land, and also on the issue of the yellow machine. What's your perspective on those two?
I got a serious issue here. Serious issue.
Let me answer my question, man. You
will. Don't worry. Thank God you're here up to 10 o'clock, but don't forget now.
No, I know you're at 10 o'clock, man. The man asked me a question, then you just jump in front of that.
Don't worry, you will be here up to 10 o'clock. Yesterday, the LCC, Claire Nathaniel followed my girl, and we have to talk about that. Yes, we have to talk about that. Don't forget that's one of the talking issue in the country now. The LPRC day before yesterday issued a release informing the public that petroleum products on the Liberian market remain the same. Less than 24 hours, they somersaulted, knowing the fact that they talked to the media. Let me set the basic. We got to talk about it. They talked to the media when the CDC was in power. These are some of the issues that they crucify the CDC when they was in authority. We'll have to talk about that. Less than 24 hours after Amos 12 went and said the government is in charge, there will be no increase of petroleum product, knowing very well that we don't have our own. They have somersaulted. We've got to talk about that.
Yes, also, because the time here is that Winston, he has a program to attend, so let give him the time. Then when he leaves,
no, I just wanted that he can choose to comment on it. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf appeared before the legislature and said she owes no apology to anyone for whatsoever she did when she served in this country as president for 12 years, even up to her son Robert Sirleaf stealing 90 million of the taxpayer money. She burst forth to say she owes no apologies to everyone. These are some of the issues. Let's look at it as well.
You want me to talk?
Yeah, go ahead. You are live.
I just received a paper from Public Works, and you don't mind if I go bring it to show to the Liberian people, right? They just came to me, Jenna, from Public Works. This house I'm sitting on, been here since. Let me go bring it for you. Just give me a minute, Ascara. I just want to show you.
Yeah. So Winston.
Yeah, I come in.
Okay. Yeah. So Winston, Winston, you know, he has some engagement. So once he finishes, we'll discuss. We have a lot of time. Okay. So, but you struck very important issues. You struck three cardinal issues. The McGill issue, obviously, we'll conclude on that in our conversation, which is very, very much important. That the Unity Party lied on McGill of that. And today he's exonerated by the very LCC under the Unity Party administration. You spoke of President Sadi, who says she doesn't regret her action of what she did. Okay, that is also extremely important. So let's listen to Mr. Jackson on the two issues.
So, I just want to show
you are off camera, Mr. Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. This is
if you take the picture, you send it to me, I will cut it and put it up.
No, but no, I don't want Labrampo to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to send it to you.
I will put it up now. Yeah.
No, but no, this is I just want you to see the Liberian people, the house that been sitting down here since 1964. Okay? And I am near the alleyway, but I got my deed, okay? This is so sick. This is so sick. 1964. My mother built this house in 1964. She's been dead almost 30 years, right? And they are coming out, Public Works Ministry, saying that they're going to do an alleyway survey and investigation. The street in front of my house, the alley, it goes into one of the largest slum communities here, right? So let's assume they decide that the whole town is in the alleyway. Then the irony about this stuff is the road is supposed to go through. If this is an alleyway, the American school, they have to go to the American school. I mean, they will break the American school down. They will go break Haywood down. They will break everything down there. It doesn't make any kind of sense, Carol. So the road doesn't curve. The road has to go through the American school. You follow me?
Yeah, definitely.
So, those of you who know Yekwitown, right at the end of the American school, the fence, the road goes down there. The road goes down there. And there are a lot of huge houses that are if that road is supposed to go all the way down, there are multi-million-dollar homes in there. And then if you go right, which is right in front of my house, there's a whole town, Yekwitown, of thousands of people. This is something that is like, it's sick. It's beyond sickness. I don't know where they're coming from, what the United Party government, what they have to do. Maybe some company paying them massive amounts of money to divest people of their properties that have been sitting on for almost 100 years. In my case, since 1964, 62 years. 62 years. A lot of my family, since my mother passed away, a lot of my family been living in this property. They born their children here. The children are in their 20s and 30s today. Yeah? So what is the purpose of all this demolition? Where's it coming from? This kind of, Jerue, I just showed them. I just received something from Public Works just now. You see here? Look. House I've been on, this is the 4. The fence been built like almost 20 years now. I built that fence. Okay? I built that fence. And then the road goes into a whole village. The whole village of Yekwitown, which is a World Bank project. I gave them people a lot of social economic thing. So you're going to break the whole town down and carry the road where? These people are looking for trouble, Gibson. They're looking for serious trouble. And I don't know what their ultimate objective is. What are they trying to prove? Ellen Johnson said he was president for this country for 12 years. Post-war, with 17,000 unmanned soldiers. The entire organization in UN support, all the UN support agencies around here, there were about at least 15 to 20,000 people working for all these UN agencies, Refugee Council, all of the thing, international NGOs and all of that. And Ellen did not break one house down. The people who work for me, who were affected by this town eviction. If you look at 72nd, Camp Ramrod, the original map of Camp Ramrod and the original deed for Camp Ramrod is for 37 acres. Akaras Gray, Honorable Akaras Gray, and they're only claiming 14 acres. What happened to the other 23 acres? Okay, and let's look at this thing here realistically. There was a standing army on December 24, 1989. That standing army was vanquished by rebel forces. That standing army fled. They fled from the garrison post, right? And people have been living on that land since 1990, which is 36 years. You come and you begin the demolition exercise. To what end? Look, our towns grow around barracks. Barracks do not come into cities. When you see Fort Meade, when you see Fort Dix, when you see Fort this, when you see all those forts in America, these were the forts that were to what? To protect the American settlers against what? The Indian invasion. Okay, that's why we hear all these forts. That's why they call these forts. And they were like basically walls, they were like wall cities, right? And the cities grew around those forts, right? But I don't know at any time in my life where the government decides to put a barracks in the middle of a city, a metropolitan city. For what reason? These people are doing all kinds of strange things, my brother Gray. It's very, very strange that I am going in my 73rd year. Okay, going to in my 74th year, I'm sorry. Then I received now a letter from the Ministry of Public Works. And I don't even have my deed in Liberia, but I have to get somebody to make a full copy and send it to me. It's in everything I have is in terms of where I stole a lot of stuff. Okay, so they're gonna have this survey. If they have to break my fence down, okay, I will take the loss. Probably cost me $2,000-3,000 to put the fence up. But I'm worried about the people whose homes are going to be demolished. Come on, my house sits very far from the road. Okay, I'm at least about 15, 20 feet from where the road starts. But I know that road, I know that alleyway, I know exactly why I put that fence there because it's on my deed. That's where the alleyway begins. You understand? But look at this town of Yekpi Town. There'll be a total annihilation and destruction of this town.
Mr. Jackson, do you believe that it will break through the ACS school, the American school system, and it will break through here? Because there's something here in our district and near our district, 13 and 14th Street, with all the demolition that they try to carry on. The Methodist compound, part of the Methodist compound, in fact, the church, part of Royal, or not Royal, the other hotel. They also in the alleyway and part of the affluent area on the right-hand side of Single going to the beach. When you're coming from the executive mansion, like 3rd Street, like 8th Street, some of those alleyways are closed off. Some of them, they are very congested, but the affluent live there, the rich people live there. There's no indication of marking those areas. The only areas that are seen being marked is from town on the left-hand side. When you're coming from the executive mansion on the left-hand side, that is from Slipway is on the left-hand side, all the way to Raspberry Valley, coming through Jallastown, going all the way to Rototown, going to your area, Oro area that you're talking about. So those are densely populated areas, mainly occupied by disadvantaged Liberians. So what do you think the motive behind that? There must be a motive. Because some of the areas, other ways, for example, in the Raspberry Valley where I grew up and we built a home as far back as 71, 72. Okay, our parents built a home. There have been no history of artists in those areas. There have been no marking, never done by any government. So now this administration comes to power. Do you think it's a tacit attempt to depopulate, Montserrat County, Monrovia? What really? The government has no plan, no money allocated for paved roads and all of those things.
Look, Akaras, I don't understand the mindset of people that are running this government, right? When you win an election, when you come to power, your first priority is what? To basically throw the olive branch out to the people who were vanquished, right? The people who lost the election, okay, the opposition. You reach out to them. And then, of course, you start to develop programs to improve the lives of people within the city, in the rural areas, the urban and rural areas, right? But I have never seen a government that is so anxious to displace tens of thousands of people. I've never seen a government that is so eager to evict, a lot of poverty-stricken people. I've never seen a government, and then the people be claiming, it's for development. Let them break it down. What development are they bringing? What roads are they building? What exactly are they doing? First of all, they're sitting here. Okay, there should be the clear demarcation of this city in 2023 post-war with something called a cadastral system. A cadastral system is when you do the intersections of longitude and latitude. Every plot of land on the planet has definite numerical numbers with where it intersects. That's why the GPS works. What a GPS, if I want to go to Gibson house, Gibson can ping me his location, and I can drive from my house to Gibson using the GPS. So they should have done that a long time ago, post-war. They should have created a cadastral system a long time ago. They should have created a street address system a long time ago to start delivering mails, to provide essential services to the people, for ambulances to be able to move, to take pregnant women to the hospital, when they're about to deliver. All of the social things that they're supposed to do, they're not doing it, but they are bent on, I don't know what, there's this anger because people in Montserrat County, okay, 100% of us did not vote for the Unity Party, so they want to exert some anger and frustration on it. I don't understand. And Gray, you asked a serious question. What is the government's plan for the city of Monrovia the Monrovia metropolitan area, that they are engaging in these massive evictions and massive displacement of people. What are they trying to accomplish? They haven't told us that.
You know, and just to jump in, I, for me, if I have my house and I want to renovate portion of my house, I should be able to be ready to begin the renovation right away before I demolish any part of my house. I cannot go and be demolishing part of my house and I'm not ready to do any development. Now, this can also be applied to the way the government is moving, the way they are behaving to the person. You know, they are the person, the people who do not have money. And great talk about affluence, people who got money, people who are well to do. They're not going to break their areas. They are going to break the areas of people who do not have voices, who got no option. They can't go anywhere. They ain't got no money. When they break that little house down that they are sleeping in, they break it down. They got nowhere to go. They got to go and squat with some family members. So as a result, there is a congestion that happening in family homes. Somebody got one room. They break your sister place down. Your sister come and squat with you. They break your brother place down. The brother come squat with you. You find 4, 5, 6 people in one room. And the government is not ready. That's the whole thing about it. The government is not ready to carry on the development that they envisage, that they think they want to do. So why not wait when you are ready? If you demolish the place, you fix the place, let the people see the development you're talking about. But people argue and say, oh, development, sometimes people got to feed in. Sometimes people got to, somebody got to feed in before development take place. We feeling pain for what now? What are we feeling pain for now? What are you doing? What is the development? Just about breaking things down?
And what is important is that there are schools that have been broken down.
Yes.
There are medical centers where people have been ejected and evicted. Destruction of medical centers and schools. And the first semester just ended. Just about a month now. The first semester just ended in Liberia. So going to the second semester, we go from fourth period all the way to exam. Now, Satan community, for example, almost 100 of those students have been displaced. A school was broken down. The government has a responsibility, whether private land ownership or whether other way. But the government has demonstrated insensitivity when the president said, God not creating new land. So the concern is mammoth, like you said. No budgetary allocation for resettlement or any payment, okay? Maybe just some settlement for them. Nothing. Even when Samuel they were being slave with, I was a little boy, I can tell you, all the people there were no other, but when they open in that place, they pay people. Talk about them pay people through Jalastan Belt. I know about that very well. The people were being paid. But this government, in the World Bank doing project rules, like going Buchanan, for example, from Monrovia all the way to Ganta, for example. All of those rules have plans for resettlement on the road. Even the overhead bridge right here, there are plans for resettlement or payment compensation by the government to those people, whether they're in other ways or not. But this is strange. This is extremely strange that the ordinary Liberian, the masses, are the one that will be affected. Having said that, Gibson, what do you make of our journalists bladding as a very important, citizen very important? McGill, cleared by the LCC. Emma Glasgow.
Just before you go to Karos, there is something about this issue of land that isn't right, that needs serious investigation. There is something about it that isn't right. I am of the conviction that government, this government is targeting a certain group of individuals. I'm also of the conviction. Now, I'm afraid for Uncle Sam. He's one of the critical voices within this country. If he can be, given such a communication, I wanted to ask him as to whether he thinks that his home, that property he's talking about, because this government does not respect the rule of law. Uncle Sam, no matter how you talk, what you say, when the government gets ready, they will come with the army, they will come with almost everything. Do you think your home is being targeted? I know you are kind of concerned about the ordinary people. But there is something about this land issue that is incorrect that needs serious investigation. If you also notice, I don't know why is it that the Unity Party government got so much interest in putting security checkpoints, soya bases. As we speak, next week they will be on the Bourgeois Island. The Coast Guard base will be carrying on a serious upgrade. I don't know for whatever reason. I don't really know for whatever reason. But I'm kind of concerned about Uncle Sam. And this land issue needs to be thoroughly investigated. Somebody cannot play for whatever place.
Let me answer, Winston. Let me answer. Okay, so listen to me. They don't even know I own this land, so it is not about me. They're not targeting me. I'm not going to lie and say they're targeting me. Okay, and my house is sufficiently far from the road that my house will not be touched. If anything, maybe they will break my fence down. They will break my fence down, and they won't be the first time they broke my fence down on my properties. On Jamaica Road, when they were putting the light poles on Jamaica Road there, you come from Car Factory right in the corner there. Okay, I own about a lot and a half with about 3 houses on it. So they encroach upon my land. For the sake of development, I accepted that. We have family property down Waterside with 10 stores on it. Okay, in the family I was married to before. They have 10 stores on it. When they were taking the road through West Point, they had to shave a certain part of the building, right? So I have suffered a lot of losses. My family and myself have suffered a lot of losses. It's not about me anymore, Winston Blyden. I'm 73 years old. I've lived the best life. I got properties in America. I got properties in South Africa. I got property in Ghana. Okay. And I got properties in the United States. It's not about me. I don't think I've been targeted. Okay. But I think they're targeting poor people. They're targeting poor people who don't have political power. They're targeting poor people who don't have the financial wherewithal to go to court and fight this. That's why Sir Joseph and Edwin Snow the other day in the Liberian Senate, they were saying that this land business and the way that the Unity Party government is doing is something that is prone to result in some sort of fracas, that could take us back to the dark days. This thing about land, and I don't know why the government continues to play with it, but they would be very unlucky to go to some community with some very crazy people, and they try to break these crazy people's homes down, and those people would take to the streets. They will go into some civil action that could turn into an insurrection. And if that happens, this country goes back to more than 50 years. Liberia, in most places, is no longer being referred to as a post-conflict country because over the last 23 years, we have been able to create a multi-party democracy, a liberal democracy that appears to be one of the strongest in this Mana River Union. We are the most democratic nation in the Mana River Union, and we are also one of the strongest liberal democracies in ECOWAS and on the African continent. What you don't want to do is to play with that level of stability that we have attained, where people have gotten used to peace and stability, where we have gotten used to cursing each other on the internet, or go and sit together. When you start to impact the lives of people by displacing tens of thousands of people, you are creating the environment for civil unrest, and unfortunately, and we pray to God that doesn't happen, but for insurrection. Thank you.
Okay. So Gibson, you were on when we asked you about the Emma Glasswell is cleared by the LSCC. All right, McGill is cleared by the LSCC. People asking who next to be cleared. I see Unity Party people are saying there's not what the sound onto whether President Boyka would sit there and allow the LSCC to declare people, you know, they lied or lied during the period of the campaign. They want to indict people. They want to justify the lie and all of those things. So what do you make about that?
It was we knew that this thing was not going to go anywhere. We knew that it was a witch hunt. It was a miscalculated attempt. It was like a fraud jump that action they took. After especially Emma Glasgow and Nathaniel McGee, those were two names that took the airwave, that government elements were yelling beyond their lungs about how these people were corrupt. They were the bad people. They were so wicked. They were corrupt. They were eating government money. They stole all government money. And I like what McGee said one time. You don't make noise about what I stole or I didn't steal. Go ahead and investigate me. If you see any probable cause, go and sue me and bring me before the law. Only to realize in March, the government no longer has a case. The Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission does not see problems. And they say specifically that after a thorough, they didn't just say investigation, they say following a thorough investigation, they found that McGee did nothing that will warrant any legal action. There was no impropriety. Put this man's name in the mud. Have rated the man as a villain, the most corrupt man in Liberia. So why don't we do our investigation, get all the facts before we go after people? The same thing, we disgrace Emma Glasgow. She was a villain. She can steal. And then they dismissed her for all of that. And the president said because of impropriety, for corrupt acts. Now, we have now realized that she is no longer a corrupt person. So here is what going on. This is my presage. All of these cases the government is running behind, they got no real intention to go behind these cases. They want to pretend to the Liberian people that they are doing something. Tell me, Gray, we talk about McGee today, no longer a case. We're talking about Emma Glasgow today, no longer a case. Look at what they're doing to some the speaker and other people. This is the first time I'm seeing, I cover the code a lot, that a government, a crime allegedly take place in the city of Monrovia. The defense did not ask for change of venue, but the government asked for change of venue. In fact, before asking for change of venue, they told the court, they say, all these jurors then will talk, we don't want it again. Take it from there. Put it, send it home. I mean, tell me, the government that usually control the jurors, that usually manipulate jurors, that will always accuse them. They came out and said, they told the court, they said, court, all the 12 jurors will have, that we selected, we don't want it again. Send it home. We ban G, we don't want it again. In fact, you know what you do?
You say you want to ban G?
Take it from Monrovia, carry it somewhere else. A case that happened in Moserado County, in Monrovia. And the law says these people must be tried by people of their peer in the area where the crime took place. So they were taking care of Kema. They came up with nobody thing. Do they have primary knowledge about it? They're going to carry the grand jury. So yeah. Samuel Twa is going to be Kofa is going to be free. Samuel Twa, when the government go, they file motion. They carry the Supreme Court. Supreme Court go make ruling. They made one mistake. They come back and say the other day one rule, it was a mistake. Now we ruin the ruling now. What kind of situation are we finding ourselves? Do you have to prosecute people when you don't have anything?
Let me come to Uncle Sam. Over and over, Emma Glasgow repeatedly said she was innocent. her character now, Nafar, is looking like a graveyard. Absolutely nothing is happening there. Should the government apologize to Emma Glasgow? She's jobless. LCC have said in a letter, verbatim in a code, they have found no cause, absolutely no cause, to indict her or anything linking her to any form of corruption. Should the government apologize to her? Should they remove Segme and send Emma Glasgow back there? Even yes, if the president decided to take such a decision, should Emma Glasgow accept the job? But what are your thoughts? Let's hear from you.
Look, the government will not apologize. The government will not concede 1 inch. These are not people who, believe in morality. They don't believe in the truth. They don't. They came to power with some very nasty propaganda. If you remember, look at the nasty propaganda. George Weah killed 3 young men and used their kidneys, okay, for what they call it, to harvest human organs. That Samuel Twe and others killed Yenswa. That $16 billion was missing from the government. These are people that said anytime there was a drug arrest at the Rabat International Airport, that the CDC government, especially people like Finda Bondo, were bringing in drugs. And the people believe this. These people are very evil people. They continue to govern with venom. They're not reaching out to their political adversaries. And in the political economy, an opposition is not an enemy. And an opposition is somebody who has a difference of opinion. Just a difference of opinion. Look, Honorable Gray and Gibson Jerue, look what they say to me on a consistent basis. You can talk for another judgment day. You're not getting any consultancy. So in other words, if I as a professional, right, who have a consulting business, if I only depended upon government consulting, which I'm entitled to if it's a competitive process, okay, and I have one of the best CVs in the country, okay, in terms of my field of study in economics, okay, in finance and in banking, and especially in chronicling social economic activities in this country. I've been involved in the post-war. There's been nobody who's done as much work as I have done to determine the level of social economic development, our demographics, and those kind of data. Because I've written all of those major reports for the UN and the UNDP and other international agencies. So if I decided today that the government posts out a request for proposal, and my company, and I have a good consulting company, if we won that bid, they will be crying to say, don't give it to Mr. Jackson. So, and if I had no other means of survival in this country, they will want to see me living in the dump pile and dead. That's how these people want, because we have a difference of opinion. I never went in the street like they did and asked for we had to step down. I never went in the streets to the steps of the Capitol and put in the coal pot and said that we will stay here until we had leaves power. I never followed any stalwart of the CDC during their administration, like Henry Costa used to do, arrive at the airport, if you remember Gibson, and he would be coming from the airport like Jesus arriving in Jerusalem. And tens of thousands of them will be accompanying him. They will block traffic, they will obstruct people's commercial activities, and nobody went to jail for that. Nobody went to jail for that. We have purposely said that he was not going to witch hunt these people because we have to coexist. He purposely said that. But these people believe that they don't just want power, they want absolute power. So anybody who disagrees with them, anybody who has an opinion, must be eviscerated by them. So look at Councillor Jefonati Kofa, who, when he became speaker, he expressed to President Joseph Newman Boakai that I'm here to support your development agenda. And I was so angry with him because he said it and it was looking like obsequious and he was being like supplicant. Okay, but he was playing his political game. Look what happened to him. Was invited where? To the Vatican. And whilst he was kissing the ring of the Pope, they were hatching a devious plan here that included Thomas Fowler, a stalwart of the CDC, and other members of the CDC. They were using government resources in the millions and millions of dollars and keeping people in a Ghanaian hotel, the RLJ, that is about $250 a night. They were feeding them there, giving them room and board, and they could not even reach the threshold of 47 to remove him. But they didn't care. They didn't care. They unconstitutionally sat in an illegal assembly and removed him. And then when the court ruled against them, they asked their own Minister of Justice, who happens to be the lawyer for the president, that he's the only one that can interpret the opinion for the president, to give a fake opinion. To give a fake opinion. And then the rule of law people had to do what? Go back to court and get a bill of information. And the bill of information went against them. Senator, Honorable Gray and Brother Jerue and Brother Blyden, it went against them, but they did not care. And then when the Capitol burned, the President of the Republic of Liberia, prejudicial to the case, said it was arson, even without an investigation. Then they went and they did what? They invited firemen, not forensic investigators, so they involved firemen from Minnesota. They came and they investigated. And they said, we don't have the forensic education or the ability to determine the origin of this fire. There must be more what? Forensic investigation. And there was no forensic investigation. But the government, in its rush to try to charge people and mete out improper justice, indicted these young men and a woman. And what has happened? Case goes to court. The case has been adjudicated in a court of competent jurisdiction. While that case has been adjudicated in a court of competent jurisdiction, they claim that a juror has formed an opinion. But Councilor Jerue, let me ask you a question. What's the purpose of somebody being on the jury? Isn't it to form an opinion based upon the facts being presented to the case? And if the juror has made up his mind,
especially if the jurors are already being impounded.
Yeah, but let me finish. If the juror has made up his mind, that means the evidence that you presented as prima facie, he figured out facie. So he disregarded that. He hasn't voted to acquit, but he's saying to you, he's asking the question that indicates his state of mind, where he's going, where his mind is on this case, and you use that as the basis. That's the basis to ask for jury nullification, even when a vote has not been taken, and I'm not a lawyer, even though I'm married to a lawyer, okay? You will use that, okay, to say that we need to not only to do what? Disband this case, but then we're going to take this place, take this thing, we're going to ask for change of venue. A change of venue to which jurisdiction? Your President of the Republic of Liberia spoke to a national audience, prejudicing the case, are saying that these people the President of the Republic of Liberia has contaminated the entire jury pool of Liberia. So where are you going to take this case where there's going to be people who never heard about the case? Are you going to go into the Nijis, under the water? Who don't know this case? So,
Uncle Sam.
Let me finish. Yeah, let me tell you something. Let me just end this. On the case of Emma Glasgow and my brother McGill, okay, Porcupine, they were investigated by the Liberian anti-corruption, and they were. But guess what? Go to social media. The unity partisans, the surrogates, including Bola Samia Namwe and others, are saying that the Ministry of Justice should nullify the ruling of the Liberian anti-corruption and should proceed to prosecute these people. What kind of country is this? What kind of government is this? Where is all this anger coming from? We are supposed to coexist. Coexistence is the essence of democracy. Difference of opinion is the essence of democracy. But I've never seen a group of people post-war in this our democratic dispensation who are so adverse to public opinion, differing public opinion, that they will want to do anything to annihilate the opposition so that they will have a free ride in 2029. The Emma Glasgow case and the Nathaniel McGill case are clear indications that these people they don't believe in democracy. They don't believe in our litigation system. They don't believe in our system of justice. They don't believe in anything. All they believe in is to have absolute, right, and uncontrollable power so they can exert their will and pleasure on the people of the Republic of Liberia.
Uncle Sam, they are scheduled a press conference for Monday at 11 a.m. Why would they be telling Liberian people? What do you think?
But listen to me. These people, I'm not a psychiatrist to determine their state of mind. I really cannot. I mean, I went to economic school. I went to banking school. I went to urban economic school. Okay. But I don't understand. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't understand the mindset of these people. What is in their mind that continue to tell them that they will continue to railroad the people of this country, okay, in preparation of them to steal an election, to negate the will of the people. I see us moving to that, because there is no way that these people who are in power today will ever concede defeat because they know what they have done when they held power, how they usurped the rights of people, how they broke the rights of people, how they broke people's homes down, all those nasty things they did, how they broke the laws, the FOIA project, $10 million, no budget. This is nowhere in the budget. The yellow machines, there is nowhere in the budget for maintenance, fuel, training, warehousing, none of that in the 2026 budget. It's not in there. And they know they are breaking the laws, that they will be held accountable for that. And because of that, these people will not give up power in 2029 unless they're forced to give up power.
Uncle Sam,
Yes.
just quick, I beg you, just 2 minutes from both of you. We got Ronald Barrier. Okay, he will join the next topic along with you people on the Putu issue. Just 1.5 minutes from both of you, our two guests. Then we'll go to the Putu issue.
Yeah, I think I can.
Gibson, just quickly. The question I wanted to ask, and Uncle Sam said, hold on a little bit. Uncle Sam, you already started answering the question. It seemed to believe that the Unity Party will not easily give up power. So what does the opposition do in that case? First, let me first establish that do you people believe that the Unity Party, even in the midst of an opposition victory, will not easily give up power? And if that be the case, what do you advise the opposition community in the case of that? Gibson?
Honestly, I want to be optimistic, but it's very difficult for me to be optimistic.
Uncle Sam, are you with us?
Based on the behavior of the people that we are dealing with. We have a group of people who want to enrich themselves. on the back of an old man who does not know what is going on in the country, who sleeps until 12 o'clock, goes to work, and come back home by 2 o'clock and never went back to work. And they are the ones who are navigating the ship, and they have all of their pockets being they are filling their pockets, and so they will do everything to circumvent the process. I don't see how any of them with 17,000 votes, like the president George Weah, will say, "Look, you know what? I don't want any problem. 17,000 votes, you guys can take it. I got tomorrow to live." I don't see the possibility of them doing it. But let me say this for once. I have never been involved in protests since 1985 during the student demonstration, 1986 March 15 demonstration. I've never been part of any student demonstration because I've been a journalist. But if Joseph Boakai decides that he will circumvent the electoral process, he will do anything hook and crook to steal the election, me, will join any political forces in the country to ensure and demand that the rights of the people, the votes of the people are rightfully returned to them. The opposition should never sit down. The opposition should make it uneasy, will make it difficult for them to even live in their own house and drink their own water and be in peace. If they attempt to, George Weah has set an example that no Liberian president has ever set an example for. Every time when people were in election, if anybody won, everybody contest the election. This is the most popular man in the country who has the most ferociously prepared and powerful political entity and his following. But he looks at all of that and says, "Look, I don't want trouble. I will give it up with 17,000 votes." And then when the opposition win Joseph Boakai, and he will do nyama nyama and let and circumvent the process, the opposition will not let him be. And I tell you, great, I will be opposition. And I'm telling you now, I will be part of all the processes to make it very uneasy for this government or anybody in this government to say they are going to steal the Liberian election. I can guarantee you the opposition will not do that. Even CDC will not do that. ANC will not do that. CMC will not do that. They have a lot on their hands if they want to steal the election. And I pray they shouldn't do it because we are very optimistic that they are going to be out of office 2029 and there's no coming back for them. And so help me God. But look, guys, I got 2 clients in my office and I just have to serve them. Maybe I'll
serve them. Yeah, you come back in. Yeah, you can just yeah. So Rana, you can pick up from there.
Yep, Honorable Grace. So listen, I'm so happy to share the stage this evening with my own kinsman, Mr. Jerue, Gibson Jerue. We all hail from Grange, the county. And of course, my papa, we all fighting each other. They call it, Papa, I can't show now you put yourself on plane. I can see you, Samuel. But Samuel, my papa, and like you, Honorable Samuel Jackson, he has a long-standing history on me. I first physically interacted with this old man, I think in 2010 during the El Nino deal. It was me, Tippison and Joey Hensford. We formed a movement in protection of Liberia's carbohydrates, the carbon sector, right? Hydrocarbon sector. And he had his moment. We collaborated on that El Nino deal and we advocated very effectively. So I've known this old man since 2010 very effectively. Even while serving, he was always jokeful with me. And so, of course, my man Bloody here, he has been a progressive journalist and you, my mentor. It's always a pleasure to share this platform with you guys. But I do agree with Mr. Gibson. This visuals government led by Joe Boakai, an old man who made an empty promise that he will even ride a wheelbarrow to go to work. He said he will ride a wheelbarrow. In the blink of an eye, he purchased a lesson of over $1 million. Verbal irony, Civil irony was displayed to the zenith and counterproductive to real reasoning. While people were suffering in acute destitution, Ome, who made a promise that he can ride wheelbarrow, bought a Lexus car. And Ome, who during his campaign in December of 20...
Ronald, the question is, okay, Ronald will bring you back because we will stay and do some analysis, so let's just give them the opportunity to bring Mr. Jackson back, okay?
Because I was responding to you perfectly. You said I should come in based on that topic. So I was saying...
because the chairman they got to leave quick. Yeah, so just go ahead, because he wasn't on. Okay, you can conclude.
Yeah, so I was saying, I do agree with them that Joe Walker is not prepared. Imagine Joe Walker cannot allow former President Weah to use just an ordinary VIP lodge that was built by him, George Weah, not by anybody. That's the simplest thing you can do. When Prince Johnson died on his funeral, it took 1 hour of torso on live television. That is the zenith of childishness as an old man like Joe Walker to allow the immediate past president to come to a national ceremony. You have your ill-fated guys there blocking him. So just imagine a minimum, inconsequential stage. You refusing to allow a fellow statement to use it. Then you talk about giving election. But we got news. The only thing is we got news. Unlike 2017, when Ome was in the country and Wilson Thomas was a stand-up burial, unlike that time when Akaros Gray was still peeking into politics, unlike when Mela Dobayo was still a student in AMU, check how many years have passed. At the time I was seeking first degree, now I have 2 master's degree from American institutions. So the phenomenon, the variable things have changed. So if you think the United Party of Manasseh leave, and the United Party of Manasseh were respectful, just by everything, they respect.
So we got to speed up now. Time is very against us, the radio time.
So you treating me that Joe, you don't want me to learn like that. So let me hear to my old man. I was talking about he left. So just saying, Papa, it's going to be money whereby money.
He was somebody leaving and we'll take the show.
So I yield to him.
No, I'm seeing at 10 o'clock.
Okay. It's good that you're staying at 10 because So, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Uncle Sam. Thank you for that.
For my business, as a Papa, for my business, stay up to 10. I'm a Papa.
I am Papa may enjoy the country.
I might even be a Carlos great to enjoy too.
Sam, I've been talking my own already. Like better time. So I wanna, So Sam, I wanna.
Only person who I'm not enjoying, Uncle Sam, I'm still waiting for you.
No, Uncle Sam can still send my late email. Don't mind you. So Uncle Sam, I want you to be candid. Just the last statement, then we'll go to Puru quick because that's one of the major topics. You have made it clear that the ruling establishment will not give power on civil platter. In that case, what does the opposition do?
So we have to exhaust every peaceful and judicial means to ensure that they do a peaceful and orderly transition. And we'll fight for that. And at my age, Gray, 2029 looks like an eternity for me because I'm 73. I can go to sleep tonight and not wake up tomorrow. But I always say to my Liberian people, whether I'm alive or not, there is one constant that the democracy that hundreds of thousands of people died for, and people who fought for this democracy did not enjoy this democracy, that even if I'm not alive, that I'm appealing to the Liberian people to use all non-violent means, including civil action against a government that wants to disrupt the orderliness of the democratic transition. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think it's fair enough. Okay, Ronald is so.
I'm here, Chief. I'm here.
Okay, Ronald is here. So Ronald going to Grand Jury candidate.
Yep.
Bro, Uncle Sam, going to Grand Jury candidate means that we're going to discuss The president now has designated Vice President Kuhn to preside over the negotiation and conclusion of any agreement. That is the Putu Mountain. Putu Mountain. I just say Putu Mountain. Okay. Uncle Sam has vast experience. He has a history of Liberia concession. He has the concession history in our country, so to speak. And I've worked with him. I know exactly from Ellington all the way up to WIA administration. So he has a great knowledge. The vice president, some may argue that the president doesn't trust those he appointed because it's the usurpation of power. You got the NRC, you got other entities of government, statutory entities responsible for these negotiations and all of those things. But the president has his vice president, like the yellow machines situation that should have been handled by the Ministry of Public Works, for example. The GSA, the president asked the vice president again. The issue of the pressing in the country, instead of the Commerce Ministry taking the lead, the president asked his vice president again in the process. So we can see a glaring violation and usurpation of functions of statutory bodies. But that level, the legislature to flag those issues. So I ran within your county, Grand Jerue County. That's the mountain. Yeah, it belongs to the people of Liberia, but in Grand Jerue County. So Uncle Sam, briefly, we'll listen to you, then we'll bring Randall in, because Randall, when he's a politician, so maybe you handle the political aspect of it until we get Gibson, Jerue. So Uncle Sam, what's your take on the Putu agreement? What's the history?
I want to know something to add to Honorable Gray. In the president's directive, he authorized the vice president to convey all relevant ministry and agencies and stakeholders to act with urgency in removing administrative bottlenecks. What are the bottlenecks, if there are any?
Uncle Sam?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. I want us to go like 3 minutes to the origin of this whole Putu case. I know it better than most people on the planet. Putu was given to a gentleman, a Swiss gentleman called Gibson, to his company called Aureus Mining during the Charles Taylor administration. And then when we changed to the democratic dispensation, the government of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went and validated that process, and it was given the mountain. So Aureus Mountain spent a few $1 million to do what we call an exploration. We're giving an exploration license. So they discovered 4.5 billion tons of iron ore in Putu Mountain. So this company does what a lot of small companies do when they're giving an asset. They then flip this asset, what is called as a farm-in arrangement, to Putu Iron Ore Mining Company. Okay? And then Putu Iron Ore Company went and sold this to a Russian company called Severstar. So Severstar was running this operation, and unfortunately for them, they were sanctioned by the United States government, the Office of Foreign Asset Control, OFAC, Department of the Treasury. So there are two issues now. The Severstar company, they want to bail out, they want to leave, and they've been looking for buyers. So there were two Liberian companies and an Indian company that were interested in this, right? The government of Joseph Newman Borka has written a Liberian company which has the competence in terms of the alliance of technical partners, financial partners, and they are working right now with the United States Department, Office of Foreign Asset Control, so that they can get a waiver so that they can pay the $20 million that Severstar is asking, because Severstar, the Russian company, owns Putu Mountain right now as we speak. So there are some people within the circle of President Joseph Newman Borka, the inner circle, who do not want this Liberian company to get it. President Josiah Nyuma Bwaga, who already was part of the award of this mountain to the Liberian company, because of the pressure that he has, he does not want himself now to make the decision to say that I gave it to the Liberian company, let the Liberian company keep it. He's want to change his mind, but he's using the vice president now, who has a stronger political will than him, and he's giving it and pretending to be that this is going to be a transparent process so that they can award this Putu Iron Ore Mountain, this a Putu Mountain, so that they can give it to this Indian company. And I have evidence that there were people within this government of Joseph Nyuma Bwaga who went to India to meet with this Indian company. So if you see all the thing they're doing is strictly a subterfuge. It's a mirage. They've already decided that they will now kick this Liberian company out and give it to this Indian company because they will be getting what? They will be getting brown envelopes and they will be getting, but the people abroad will not benefit because as you saw the Indians, what they are doing in Western Cluster, instead of building infrastructure, they are trucking iron ore from Bombing through Clay, through St. Paul, through Douala to the Bongman Pier and putting the iron ore on the boat and selling it. They have no intention of building infrastructure. In order for you to ship iron ore from Putu, the closest port that is available is the port of Greenville. You have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to fix that port. You have to spend, if you want to do it in the right way, you have to build a railroad. They will not do that. But they will start taking the surface mines, okay, which called the DSOs, and they will start shipping it to make hundreds of millions of dollars. And when that DSO is completed, they will just go ahead and abandon the project. They would have made billions of dollars and they would have run away. That's exactly what is going on right now. So don't be fooled. This process that is going on right now is not in the interest of the people of Grand Jide, is not in the interest of the people of the Republic of Liberia, and this is not in conformity with Liberian economic empowerment. There is not one major mine, a Class A license in this country that has been ever awarded to a fully 100% Liberian-owned company. And this is an opportunity for Liberian equity participation in iron ore mining. And the government of Joseph Nyuma Bwaga intends to obstruct that process for this company.
Wow. Uncle Sam, yeah, we go to Rana Dubai, and the reason why we're going to Rana, we got Gibson back here. Rana is from Grand Jide. Rana, you listen to Uncle Sam clearly, very emphatic. He doesn't see Grand Jide actually benefiting from the resources coming from Grand Jide. Interestingly, the vice president is presiding over your resources and not over Nimba Mountain. Rana, what do you have to tell the people of Grand Jide tonight? They are listening to you. You are a son of Grand Jide, and I hope Gibson can come on. And we'll ask Uncle Sam some questions. But Rana, yeah, you can go ahead.
Right. As a son of Grand Jide who been around, I know where Putu is located. It's right there in Tiamatan, right on the main road, and there's somewhere there in Jaudi towards the Sandosa, and then the other end towards the River Jisa. So I've been to Putu several times when they were operating. Because of my love for environment at the time, I went there to do some voluntary environmental assessment. So let me say this. Some of the reasons why you see Zoe passing around making noise, that's some of the reasons you see coming up here. So from a political standpoint, people like Zoe and others, they feel they can use their relationship with Jeremiah Kun to steal from the Liberian people. Now let me say that from an analytical standpoint, this issue, the president's decision, raises the question of process for the expediencies, and in this context, by expediency. From a governance perspective, the president's decision to ask a vice president to personally oversee every operation of the Putu Mountain to remove a so-called administrative bottleneck, in my mind, it raises fundamental questions about institutional integrity and procedural adherence. It speaks to Joseph Boakai experience and brings it to questioning. Now, why am I saying this? In any functional administrative system, Honorable Gray and my dear father, Honorable Jackson, right? The mining concessions, we all know historically, it operates through a regulatory ecosystem. And when I say regulatory ecosystem, I'm talking about those legal institutions, the mines and energy. The EPA that I work with, they're supposed to issue all of the Class A permit after doing all of the necessary environmental, environmental and social impact assessment. What technical knowledge does the VP and his group have? Nothing, right? So the Liberia Revenue Authority, all the statutory body need to be involved, and then they advise the president. The president look at everything, he jump over it. Then go to the vice president. Now, just quite recently, we have a memory where this very president, he left the concession commission, he left the public, where he left all other institutions responsible for procurement. GSA, GSA, General Servicing Agency. He used the very vice president to go to China and do procurement. So we live in a society where administrative processes has become a taboo. So to answer your question, what does Grenjida stand to benefit? Nothing. Nothing Grenjida stand to benefit. That's why you see Jeremiah Bankun keep running Grenjida in, running to Grenjida here in Zopen or anything. They can use a manipulated approach to mortgage banjo, give away. If Joseph Boakai is accurate that he loves Grenjida County, if empty Zopen, who has been in power for 23 years while having a single draft legislative piece, single for 23 good years, 2006, when Zo was being inaugurated as a lawmaker, I was still in Cathedral Catholic School, 11th grade, still a kid. 21 years after I have 2 master's degree, 2 kids, I've traveled all around the world. Zo is still in that position, no improvement. That is the individual being used today by Joe Boakai, by Kun, to mortgage the interests of the people of Liberia vis-a-vis the people of Grenjida County. So transparency in every process, every concession process matters. And in this case, I think the directive by the president, it speaks to his desire to bypass functional administrative procedure. All he wants to do is to benefit himself. The logical endpoint here is that Joe Boakai doesn't operate, to please the Liberian people. What Joe Boakai does is exactly what Honorable Jackson and Omen Jackson has explained. Is about leaving, the Liberianization policy that talks about giving priority to the Liberian people. Where is that? Where is that thing Liberia, Bio Liberia, and Yaman Liberia that Joe Boakai was talking about? Where is it? That you are even bypassing the Russian. I'm told America is not in favor of that. It's just that, Donald Trump is busy with other things, so they may not be paying attention to this. You bringing in those foreign companies who have a gargantuan history of exploiting for the Liberian people. And every time the United Party is in power, these things can emerge. The history of El Nito, I cannot repeat it. We just saw quite recently again the situation about Nima County, the concessions there. So why is it every time United Party is in power, the Liberian people have to suffer? They have to bear the pinch of their own resources. And so for the Liberian, the question doesn't just come to me. You outside there, since Putu left, I thought they're supposed to go back to Grenjida and do community engagement. They do community consultation and let the people understand the means and bound, their expectation, because the intent of it is not to benefit the people. They don't care to go back in the county to do community consultation because under our laws, the custodian of these resources, the people who live with the resources. Why are you disrespecting them? The legal requirement calls for you going back in the country and doing all of these things. Joe Boakai jump over everything. He is concerned. It's just just mere political showboating and no structural step. So the objective here is not about efficiency. It is about saying the bypassing institutional norms. And so Joe Boakai in the end is a corrupt old man. In the end, this is intended to benefit few people, and this is their game for 2020 now. This is how they want to generate resources. Bypass all established protocols, raise money to be able to bribe people from the judiciary branch to compromise the legislature. We have a handicapped legislature. if we didn't have a regime legislature presided over by a buffoon in Richard Kuhn, who is into complicated marital issues, we will not be at this point. We'll have them, someone in the executive, but no, they're wearing yellow clothes, marching around, like kids, going for session. So it's a bad time to be a Liberian. It's a bad time. We have news for them. We will not let this go unpunished. We will resist for this ingrained to them. We will resist any attempt to mortgage our resources. We will mobilize our people. The brave people of Putu will listen to us, and we will resist any attempt by Joe Boyka to use the Putu mountain to govern our resources for his already failed, regime and his resuscitation in 2029. Great. That's just my initial position on this.
Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam.
Well, thank you very much for your deliberation. Ronald, yeah.
Uncle Sam.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're getting you. Yeah, Uncle Sam, we're getting you. Uncle Sam, are you getting us?
Yeah, you're asking me a question or you want me to talk?
Yeah, no,
I'm loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're getting you. Wanted to know this Putu agreement. When was it first negotiated? Was it under the first 5-6 years of the Unity Party or the second 6 years?
It was the first 6 years.
It was in the first 6 years. It was in the first 6 years when it was negotiated. First of all, I've told you the original exploration license for Putu that was given to Guy Pass, the Swiss investor, was done under the Charles Taylor administration. The same thing, what was done with the Lamco mines that was given under the Judy Bryant administration. And and all of those oil blocks, if you remember those, 7 to 8 oil blocks were granted under the Judy Bryant administration. So Ellen could do one of two things, right? She could have said that they did not conform to our laws, and therefore they did not conform to our laws, and therefore we will go for a complete overhaul of it. But she gave the 8 oil blocks to the companies that were given to them, and then she gave Putu to Orias Mining, right? And which basically transformed itself to Putu Iron Ore Mining Company, right? But now, sorry. Orias then sold it to the Silver Star, and Silver Star named it Putu Iron Ore Mining Company. You follow me?
We're getting you.
So when the Biden administration, the Russian company Severstar, I'm trying to think now. Yeah, okay. They were in, I think it was like 2021. That's when the Magnitsky Act was put on this Severstar, this Russian company.
Wow.
So nobody could do business with them, and Liberian government couldn't do business with them, but they own the asset because they have bought it from Orios. So they have to sell it, right? But because the Global Magnitsky Act prevents any company from doing business with a company that have been under the U.S. sanction, so they couldn't sell it. So right now, the Liberian company that was granted this by this same Joe Boyka administration, that's in a award letter written by this Joe Boyka administration to this Liberian company. They have taken that to the U.S. Office of Foreign Asset Control, Department of State, and there's been an indication that the Department of Treasury, will grant them a waiver. And so they are negotiating now. And while they are doing the negotiation, and while they are trying to hurriedly to bring this Putu Iron Ore mines to fruition, then the president of Liberia is creating a parallel system to grant the same Putu Iron Ore mine to an Indian company, because the people around Joe Boyka believe that they did not get enough brown envelopes in the process, so they want to dislodge this Liberian company. So that's what this thing is all about. So Joseph Boyka now does not have a strong political will and wants to be like Pontius Pilate to wash his hands from what is about to go down. That's why he gave the Jeremiah Cone, who is the man who's the hatchet man for the administration who will do what Joe Burker wants to do, but he does not want to appear like he's doing it. Are you following me, Randall?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why this committee, this other parallel system was created with Vice President Kuhn, so they can steal this asset from the Liberian company and give it to an Indian company. Because they were already in India not too long ago talking to this Indian company. That's what this is all about. Totally. This is what this is all about. To grant Putu to this Indian company and to remove this Liberian company that have been working assiduously with the Americans and the Russians to get this asset, to get the people of Putu to work quickly. So those are the circumstances existing currently with Putu.
Yeah, so
where's
yeah, great.
Okay,
Yes.
but Randall, you have any question for me or Winston? Any question on this Putu thing? I think Honorable Grace coming back.
We want to question on you, Winston.
Okay.
Go ahead, Honorable Gray. I'm kind of getting the lines prepared because I think very shortly we'll take the call. But go ahead.
Yeah. So Uncle Sam, before Randall comes in, my concern is about the people of Grand Judea County. What would you advise the government in terms of this? I don't know whether it's a renegotiation or new agreement. What would be your kind of advice to the government for the people of Grand Judea to benefit and for the people of Liberia to also benefit?
The most expeditious thing for the Liberian government to do is to keep its word to the Liberian company that is awarded a toll. So the Liberian company has a strategic partner. The Liberian company has already got a commitment for the monies and already got a commitment from the U.S. Department of the Treasury that they will waive the sanctions on Silver Star so that this Liberian company can buy Putu. That would be the quickest way. If that is not done, to restart this process would take many more years for it to be put into action, and the people of Grand Judea will not see any employment, will not see any activity up in those mines for like between 3 to 5 years. And Grand Judea is one of the poorest counties in this country without any significant foreign direct investment. This is an opportunity now for Grand Judea to get significant foreign direct investment, create jobs, create income, and improve socioeconomic conditions in the county. And this creating this parallel system with the vice president will obstruct the expeditious deployment of resources in Putu to give the people of Grand Judea County an opportunity for jobs and income, and for also some physical and social infrastructure like schools, like hospitals, and all those things there.
Okay, yeah. So Uncle Sam, Winston will pick up because I have a little bit of problem from this end here. Okay, so we have like 15 more minutes to go on the program. So if I go off, I will try to come back on. So Winston and Randall will pick up from that end. Okay, maybe if I go, I will come on after 4 minutes. So Randall, we want to know, is your country?
People are concerned, so whether we're taking calls, please.
Yeah, we'll take calls maybe the last 10 minutes, but now that just conclude with Randall because Uncle Sam has said a lot about the history of this Putu, about he doesn't see Grand Judea or the Republic of Liberia benefiting. And Randall, what would be your advice to the people of Grand Judea in terms of this agreement? Because mind you, Randall is not a hidden secret. The reason why I'm not too much involved into the conversation tonight, I know that Zoe was very involved during the Wealed administration with the hope that the Putu agreement will have been concluded under our administration. Okay. Unfortunately, that did not work out. So like you said, Senator Zopena is very interested in Putu. Now the new government has come to power. He's whining and dining with the vice president and the president of the Republic of Liberia. But then he had great interest input. I can tell you that for sure. I know about that. I know one time he went Ivory Coast on that. He went to Europe on that. I know the history of that. Okay. And I understand why he's keep fighting, because he thinks that once the D is crossed, maybe his pocket will be fat. But how does it benefit Grand Gilead? You have representatives, you have 2 senators. How does it benefit Grand Gilead County? That's what we want to know. And what should Grand Gilead do about this? Because mind you, that the biggest resources that they have in their country, the biggest, and that is going. That is a foregone conclusion that will be given up. How does that benefit the infrastructure of Grand Gilead? Education, health, rural infrastructure, for example, human resource capacity building, for example. Because when that mountain is consumed, like the mountain in Bomi County, for example, you see the hole that is there. That's what is left with Bomi County, called the Blue Lake today. So as Grangians, where do you people stand?
So where do we stand is this. They say when the Christmas will be good, you can know from the if up to this point, you haven't earmarked some young Grangians in Liberia to send them abroad to understand geotechnical service and studies, to understand the importance of hydrocarbon. If you have not developed any local and international scholarship to train local engineers, so that when they put to mine come online, they become supervisors, then it tells you we are headed for nowhere. That tells you the fundamental issues as eloquently explained by Uncle Sam Jackson. Because let's assume that concession is genuine. Let's assume the intent is to benefit the people. Now, with the agreement being in an immeasurable proximity, how many Liberians engineers, how many Grangians can you point to as engineers? Or do we want a similar situation in B Mountains where foreigners are even driving forklift and nonsenses? So if you ask me why is the benefit, it has never been about benefiting the people. Because if it were benefiting the people, by this time, Nigeria University would not be elevated as a university on paper. It will be elevated as a university physically, with all of the technical and educational supplies. But Nigeria Community College still offers AA. How are they training young Nigerians to get prepared, capable, willing, to withstand the challenge, to be capable to compete in the job market when Putu gets online? The fact that all of these minimum indicators, these benchmarks, these signals of development and seriousness, the fact that we're not seeing all of these things, my dear brother Blooding and Honorable Jackson, Omensen Jackson, it tells you what the mindset is. It's about banjo. It's about banjo. So let's even assume, Honorable Jackson, let's assume the Liberian company have some technical and administrative challenges. What does it take from the government to ensure that flexibility is enhanced so that this Liberian will have the company? Because if Liberian company wins that concession, it makes Liberian millionaire. It prepares for all an independent middle class. That is what it does. So if you have a president who thinks on the next generation, his corresponding idea will be creating an environment, an enabling environment that makes Liberian to have the potential of becoming millionaires. But they are invading all of these practical reality and steps only to strangulate the Liberian people. So, Honorable, to your question, what we can do is to radically educate our people so that they can get prepared for any civil disobedience, because it is ensuing that civil disobedience will be the next, foreseeable alternative. Because this government doesn't listen.
But Randa, Zoe is not the only lawmaker from that country. What are the caucus saying? Members of the Grand Jury Legislative Caucus, what are they saying in this matter?
So the OOS explanation, they have said nothing but Zoe is a lead. He's one of the longest serving lawmakers. He has imposed himself as a godfather, self-imposed godfather of Grand Jury. And Omen Bwaka likes people like that. So Bwaka using Zoe as a conduit, as an instrument, to get the deal going, to narrow the Grangians. That's why you see Zoe always in the Grangians, teaching our money to people to close their mobs. So Zoe is the point man, yeah. Zoe is the poster child for bad concession, bad deals, and ill-informed political machination and manipulation. That's Zoe. Zoe is a struggle here. So that's what we did with Zoe. So, my dear brother, Liberia stands to benefit nothing. Liberia has benefited nothing on Joe Bwaka. Liberia has benefited nothing. What Joe Bwaka wants to do in that age of his, is to just gang rape our country, urinate on all of our resources, mortgages of people who have no interest in Liberia. These Lebanese and foreigners. You see, right now, with the war in Iran and Lebanon being involved, just get prepared for capital flight, because our economy in the hands of the very Lebanese today, some of whom are supporting Hezbollah, as per information gathered in our hands. While that is happening again, and then a major segment of our economy, you want to give it to another foreigner. That is terrible. That tells you our country needs redemption. They say they have come to rescue, but from all indication, the rescuer need to be redeemed. Our country is in the doldrum, is in a gutter of abject poverty, and it needs redemption. And that redemption was what Mr. Jackson was talking about. Yeah, even if he did not make it to the finishing line in 2029, he's encouraging Liberians to stand up against tyranny, to stand up against dictatorial posture, to stand up against bad governance, to stand up against manipulation and suppression. I think that is what we can do. That is why Grenadians need to brace for, and we are going to lead a social change. We are going to lead our mobilization. One of the days that would sit back the country and allow people like Joe Boyka, allow the Unity Party, a few elite who do not see our country as a place that people should grow, or a place where people should remain in acute, abject, untold poverty. And enough is enough. We will redeem our country from those looters, from people that have led our country 3 years. Nothing have changed, no improvement. They're still operating with the blueprint, the benchmark, and the preliminary, developmental agenda set by the previous government. Nothing new has been done by this government. They are desperate. In their desperation, they are unreasonable. They are arrogant. That is the irony of their behavior. These people, as desperate as they are, we expect them to be humble. And Honorable Jackson talks about that first. You want in a narrow margin. Instead of you extending an olive branch, instead of you being inclusive. 2017, George Weah won over 250,000 votes. But guess what? He retained Mary Bro. Guess what? He retained Vanny Salif, the brother of Mana, I think brother or relative of Mana Salif. He retained the guy from NASCAR. He retained even Joe Boyka's son in strategic governance position. But today, what is happening to City Hall? As little as Sweeper, Alpha Gray and other young militants, because they do not support the regime, they were chased out of Monrovia City Hall. That is how wicked and tyrannical Mr. Boyka is. And so for the Putu, we say enough is enough. We're going to stand. We're going to encourage our people, to take the charge of this. This is not going to be like B Mountain. It's not going to be the El Nido. It's not going to be the Buchanan Renewable fake concessions. So we're going to change. There's a paradigm shift inside, and we're going to lead that bloody.
Thank you so much. Uncle Say, you want to wrap it on this, then we'll go to the lines?
Well, no. I think I've said enough. Let's go to the line. I've said enough.
All right. So let's hear from Liberian this evening or this morning, wherever you find yourself. Those of you in the diaspora can join us by the way of the WhatsApp number +231 0776 329798. Again, those of you watching from around the world can join us on +231 0776 329798. That's the WhatsApp number. Those of you listening to the show on the local line 0777 985 985. Add the numbers to call and be a part of the show. Again, 0777 985 985. Let's go to the line and hear from this person. Good evening. Welcome. I said, panelists, y'all can hear the call there?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Bloody, and good evening to all of the panelists, especially, all of us in general. I'm glad, hearing my voice today.
Go to the issue. We don't have the loss of time. Please go to the issue, sir. Will you please go to... Okay, let me take this person. Hello? Yeah, go to the issue. Beg you, Hello? Hello? Yeah, go ahead.
What's up? Oh, but another person's on the line.
Go ahead.
Okay, Wilson, this is Pastor David. Wilson?
Pascal, please go ahead. We don't have the luxury of time. Go ahead, Pascal.
Oh, thank you, Wilson. Sorry. So let me say thanks for the show. Oh, thank you, Wilson. So let me say thanks to Samuel Jackson and I mean, we're supposed to have another guest. I think Mr. Jerue. But let me say thanks to Mr. Jackson. I mean,
I wonder which devices you are using to monitor the show. 0777 985 985. Put the calls through 0777 985 985. Those are on the diaspora plus 231. The WhatsApp number 0776 329 Morning. Good evening. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Like I said, we will do all of the panelists, especially generally, and everything that is joining the program from my community, not the private Michigan market.
Okay.
One of the things that God to me is concerning little my growth. You know, for now, the youth a lot of the youth they get lost with a small of my growth. What I do is just talk. So many days I can challenge them to take it. Some of them will get angry, they get out from the keke because anything we're in trouble.
Okay. 0777 985 985 plus 231 0776 329798. The WhatsApp number again 0776 329798. That's the number they can use to join us. Those of you from the diaspora, be a part of the show this evening or this morning. It depends on whichever location you find yourself. Let's go back to the line and talk to this person right here. You can join us on 985 985. The WhatsApp number plus 231 0776 329798 are the numbers to call in and be a part of the show this evening. Of course, let's hear from this person right here. Carlos Gray will join us later on. Let's take this person. Good evening. Welcome. Hello? Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Pastor David.
Go ahead, Pascal.
Thank you. So let me say to Mr. Jackson and also to Rama Sibayu. So I didn't start from the beginning, but I think a couple of issues been raised. Thank God that Mr. Mandela is now benefited.
Wow. I don't know what's really wrong with your line, Pascal. 0777 985 985 0776 329798. Let's use the alternative line 0777 985 985. Another one 0776 329798. Those of you on the from the international scene can join us on the way of the WhatsApp plus 231 0776 329798. The numbers to call in and be a part of the show this evening. Let's hear from this person. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Alonso and Paul is still on the number.
Okay, just energize your voice a little bit, Chief, and go ahead.
Yeah, as I start and listening to the talk show and the conversation on the thing, what he said, and I want to challenge to the ruling government that come 2029, there's no extent because we as Nigerians will sign with the kind of situation went through. We see your country is now sitting, they have made us some of us, we are not able to continue our education. So we ask them to do the right thing, then everybody being decent as well. And for another money, I take kudos to him. Because there was widespread information all around that he stole money, that protestation upon him. But now, thank God that he has been vindicated, but also asking the government the same way they brought sanction upon him, let it try by all force and leave the sanction out on him by going back to America to advocate so that he can leave the sanction out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sokande. 077-985-985. WhatsApp number +231 0776329798. The numbers to call, be a part of the show this evening. 0777-985-985. Put the cost through, and let's hear from you right here on your favorite show, New Liberia. Let's take this person. Good evening, welcome. Will you lower your radio, please? Okay, go ahead.
My opinion tonight. Thank you for the panelists and the guests in the city. Concerning about too much land, the speed, and the taking people house and things on the routine. Actually, the people's expectation is not like this. Every Liberian living in emotional today. They're living under atmosphere. And who is strong supporter about the unity of the government today? Who can get on the citizen more at the back. That's some of the things I'm trying to tell you. So, actually, most of the people being intimidated by their own land. And the poor people, they are very, very, worried about their self-concern about their living condition. Because any bunch of criminals can try and go face any kind of document, go to the court at the end of the day, you can invade the people. And actually, unfortunately, situation in the country right now. And the president actually people not happy about everything concerning about the too much demolition and the destruction about the people property. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll take two more. Just two more. Because we got the next program coming on the price. 10 o'clock. All right, it's 0777985. Of course, the panelists have been very, very firing tonight and raising the issues that matters to the motherland as well. So we take two more. Then we'll go back to the panelists to wrap up. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is James Giddings. I'm from Bridge.
Okay, James, go ahead.
Yeah, as Liberia is on another path, we need to choose from one thing to another. How can a company go somewhere and become no local village? Everybody who travel to go to Massa, to go Maryland, with tea, when you pass into that place, it's like a village. And the people use land cruisers to get the mineral resources, pass through Monrovia and carry wherever they want to carry, and it's bad. I'm just monitoring the Liberian people, even the Nigerians, to stand up because, we cannot do that to the people. You pass through Samantha, it's like a village. And there was a company there, and exploration or whatever, but they were not doing what, the Nigerians really wanted, but I just basically the Nigerians to stand up. Thank you.
Thank you, Sokane. 777-985-985. The numbers to call and be a part of the show. Uncle Sam, we gotta go. It's already after 10 o'clock. From Bana FM. We got a next program on our back already.
Yeah.
Usually, you want to say? Oh, Jerue, you welcome. You got international calls that you want to take it from your end?
No, yeah, that just we have to close up. So let us know, Uncle Sam, then we can do the conclusion because we have some program. We can run into the program now.
No,
so Uncle Sam, parting comment.
Thank you very much, Representative Gray and Mr. Bladden. It was a very great opportunity for me to come and share my thoughts with the Liberian people. I just want to tell Liberian people my primary objective always has been not about me. It's never about me. The whole people, they always say Jackson want Sam Jackson doesn't want anything, especially at age 73. Sam Jackson is good. But Sam Jackson is worried about the people who I see from generation to generation that can never escape this abject poverty that this country has subjected to previous generations and up to now for 178 years. Look at Logan Town. Look at Nukru Town. Look at the town where I live in. Look at Yeku Town. Mat houses, zinc houses, bathrooms with zinc around it, people using lapa for doors, people bathing in buckets. There is not a single public toilet, indoor toilet in most places where there is just a bunch of degradation. The city of Monrovia, 70% of the people of Monrovia live in slums.
Okay.
70% live in slums. In rural poverty, 60% of the people in the rural areas live below the international and national poverty line. Those are the people that I fight for daily because I want them to have a better life than I ever had and that they deserve. I don't need anything from any government. I don't need anything from anybody. But it is you all, the young people, where the population of this country, 70% of the people that are under the age of 35, less than 3% of Liberians lived to be 65 and over. 2.8% to be exact. 2.8% of the people of this country live over 65 right now. The age distribution of this country.
Uncle Sam, we have to leave.
Thank you, Uncle Sam.
Let me just go. I beg you. Okay, listen. Yeah. But if you see me with anger, if you see me with frustration, it is not about improvement of my life. It is about improvement of your lives. The Mawata, the Mawese, the Uncle Flomo, the Uncle Ta, and those people. Those are the people I fought for the last 50 years of my life. God bless you. God bless Liberia, and God save this great nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uncle Sam. We also want to say thank you to all Liberians who fought out today in Radio Land, Bana FM, Radio Tapeta, Lela in Bon County, the rest of our people, those of you who following us live tonight, our viewers or many viewers. Uncle Sam, thank you very much for being here. And there's how we would love to close it up. Thank you, Winston. We want to appreciate you. We'll be here tomorrow at the same time at 8 o'clock. Uncle Sam, have a wonderful night and tell your wife good night.
I'm gonna tell my wife good night for you.
Yeah, good night. She's gonna have a wonderful night. That's what I said, Uncle Sam.
I will kiss my wife good night.
Uncle Sam, kiss your wife good night.
Yeah.
The whole Labrador world, but they beautiful woman that they old man brought to Liberia. They said, "Oh my God, they can't get."
How many people they just jealous of the old man?
But it's their business. I don't tell them not to get good talk, to get good education, to smell good, to look good, to talk good. You know,
that's great.
I'm telling them,
Mama, you open on the same month now. My people, you are good night.
The man is cold, is kicking.
Good night. Thank you very much, Winston. We'll see you. Good night. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Jerry.
Let's say on the subject matter. It's insulting. It's insulting to some of the three of us for a company document that will ratify to suggest to us what they want to do. That means they don't even respect the authority of the plenary. The legislature, this legislature, let me be specific, it's not Mitaski family. We are not working on their plantation to decide when their slaves born, who descend where they want to send them or when they want to see them. They've launched an unprecedented, unwarranted attack on this body. Let me repeat. An unprecedented, unwarranted media attack on the 73 of us, to the extent that even your signature was being forged as a sitting speaker, and that's the moment that I waited for. Mita has to understand that this is a sovereign state. We are not abolished. Gone are the days that Mita will think that this legislature will compromise the supreme interest of the Liberian people. That the message will clear to them. This suggestion by Mita to us is contentious. It's a flagrant rejection to appear before this body. That is contentious when the legislature writes you to appear before the legislature and you want to suggest to the legislature that you want to meet a committee. Even the committee that they themselves accused to public relations here. Let the message go clear, let the chief clerk write it down and demand from them when we want to see them. For Mita to reject an appearance here, they will have to be treated like any entity or any individual that this body are held in contempt. Our people in Nema flag is serious issue. Let me repeat. A serious issue where they defaulted 100% on their responsibility as per the rectified document. They must never dare dream, let me repeat, as a member of the committee on investment, that will be placed in their pocket and we will sign an agreement or affix our signature to an agreement where they will work with millions for the Republic of Liberia at the detriment of survival of our people. Enough is enough. The management of Mita must be brought here on an oath. They must appear to this body and to no committee. We must look into their faces and speak to them that this is not their plantation. Liberia is not a plantation. Let me repeat. Liberia is not a plantation. The 57 legislators were being accused in this country by the very Mita agreement. Let me repeat. The 57 legislators were being accused in this country by the very Mita agreement. We want to make it clear to them that we have a future in this country. We are not boys and girls. I can be pushed aside. We want to tell our friends in the West, I want to be clear that the forces interference in external forces interference and thinking that they can subject this body. I want to be clear on those people. I represent the people of the nation of Montserrat County. I care less about whosoever in the West that believe they can shove something down our throat. Our signature was clear to Mita and will be clear to any other company that we will not subject ourselves to all of them. India.